What's up gamers? Coach Brandon here. Today we're going to be talking about how to keep up your CS in the mid game. A lot of the times people know how to CS during the laning phase, but a lot of people struggle with keeping up with it in the mid game. Keeping up your CS in the mid game is just as important as CSing in the early game, because it is always the most guaranteed way to get gold income, and you should always be looking to maximize your CS at all times. So let's get into it. To warm up, you should load into the practice tool and buy 1 to 2 items for your champion. Once you have your items, go to a lane and practice clearing the waves with your abilities. In the mid game, you want to clear the waves as efficiently and quickly as possible. Doing this will mimic your power spike in the mid game, and you want to feel for how quickly you can clear a minion wave at this power level. Practicing this will help you understand how much time you need to clear the wave so that you can do this in game safely and without putting yourself in danger when you're clearing waves. Practice this in the practice tool for 2 to 3 minutes. Now that you understand how efficiently you can clear the minion waves, it's time to understand where you can get CS in the mid game after you clear the waves. I know what you were thinking. If I clear the wave, what more CS is there? Well, there's always the jungle. Now, I don't want you to go out fighting your jungler for CS, but there are times where you can simply ask or ping your jungler that you need some more gold for your next item spike, and you can ask for a few camps to get there. Most of the time, junglers will say yes, as having you as strong as possible before the next fight benefits them as well. Always try to make sure you ask first though, as you don't want to make a situation toxic or tilt your jungler. Load into a bot game or the weekly rotation game mode, and after clearing your wave in the mid game, you want to take any available camps that are around. Doing this in your downtime between clearing waves and fighting is important to keep up your CS numbers, and making sure that you're always as strong as you can possibly be at any given point. You want to do this in between the minion wave timers, as your priority should always be minions first. As soon as you clear a wave, have an internal clock start in your head, and go do things around the map like farming camps or placing down vision, then make sure you come back to collect the next wave. Building off of asking your jungler for their jungle camps, a thing you can do if that makes you uncomfortable is waiting for after you win a fight or push the enemy out, and partnering up with someone and taking the enemy jungle camps. This way, you don't have to ask anyone's permission to take extra CS, and you're actively denying gold and XP from your opponents. Any opportunity you have to take the enemy's jungle camps, you should almost always take it because it gives your team value and is one of the only ways to actively deny your opponents those valuable resources. In an unrated match, after you win a fight, look to clear the enemy jungle of any available camps that they have. Of course, keep this within reason. Look at their spawn timers and how many of them are alive, and use your best judgment on how much you can take with a given amount of time. Now, with CSing in the mid game, you have to understand the basic rotation of the mid game. What I mean by this is where you position yourself after laning phase based on your role. In the mid game, it is very standard for the bot lane, ADC support, to rotate and take the mid lane and farm those minions, while the mid laner and the top laner take the side lanes. A more detailed reasoning for this is a topic for a separate video, but for now, you just need to understand that this is the standard, and during the mid game, whichever role you fill, you should make your way to a lane that is unoccupied by your team and take those minions. A lot of the times, people get lost in mid game and are just looking for a fight. But when there's nothing going on, make sure you are pushing waves and keeping up your farm. Load into an unrated game, and when the laning phase ends, normally around 14 minutes, look to fill a lane that best fits your role. If your optimal lane is not open, then just fill whatever lane is open for you. Also remember that if you're close to an item spike, that there are no easy access to minions for you to take, ask your jungler if you can take their camps. Again, I'm Coach Brandon, and today we went over how to keep up your farm in the mid game. Doing this will help you stay ahead of your opponents and limit the ways that they can make a comeback in your games. Always remember to stay hungry, stay humble, and make sure to keep a lookout for a ton of new content coming from our League of Legends team. I'll see you next time.